Hello everyone out there, Backstage Pass members, bright and shiny beacons of light, members on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So great to see everybody here this evening. Apologize for the technical challenges. We're learning how to move things, or we're working to move things onto our computers versus our portable devices to bring you a higher quality show, better sound, better image, everything. And it's a learning. This is all a learning behind these lives. So thank you so much for bearing with us. What I want to do is talk real briefly about decision making, and then we're going to jump into questions and answers on any topic. And so as I was sharing earlier, and I guess the feed wasn't going through to people here, earlier today I went out on a bike ride, and it's always interesting to me to see when I'm going to turn around on the bike ride, because I always have a particular point that I want to get to, but I'm trying to pay attention to my body and to my conditions and to kind of an inner wisdom to know when I want to turn around. So tonight I went out and I was planning on going past this NASCAR racetrack, going out to the forest, just into the forest and turning around. And before I got to the forest, a large black dog greeted me, or more to the point, wanted to eat me. And this was my second time seeing this dog. The last time ended up with a bunch of no, no, no's before the dog turned away. And this time, I didn't want that. I didn't want that confrontation, that energy, and I was prepared to pull out my water bottle and squirt it if I needed to. But I took this as universe is telling me it's time to turn around. And so I immediately turned around and headed for home. I made a decision that this was the perfect time to turn. Decisions are so difficult for us to make these days. We've been trained ever since we were kids not to make a bad, in quotes, decision or a wrong, in quotes, decision. We were taught that if we made a bad or wrong decision, there was consequences. So early on, we weren't afraid to make decisions. But the more that our parents told us it was wrong, or teachers, or loved ones, or friends, or not so friends told us that our decisions were wrong, the more gun-shy we've become. In fact, we get anxious now. We can actually get our guts torn in knots trying to make a decision or dreading that we're going to have to make a decision. It's never supposed to be that way. We're supposed to learn by making mistakes. We're supposed to learn by making decisions right or wrong and learning from them and growing in our confidence. And that's what I want to challenge you here today, is to start making more decisions to come into your power. You can start with little decisions, decisions at the grocery store, decisions on clothing, decisions that in the greater scheme of things don't matter that much. And instead of thinking out the decision, feel out the decision. Jessica and I used to do this in grocery stores. She'd say, close your eyes. I'd close my eyes. She'd hand me one food. I'd hold it close to my heart. Then she'd hand it another. I'd hold it close to my heart. And I'd say, B, definitely go with B. And that's what we'd stick with. That's an intuitive or gut decision, and that takes the thinking mind out of the equation. The thinking mind is great for weighing options. It's also great for driving us nuts. Our best decisions, whether you're you on the streets or you the CEO, is always a gut indecision. It can be backed up by information, but it is always coming from the inside. And so what I want to challenge you is to start making more decisions, to practice making decisions, to be all right with making, quote, bad decisions. I like to say a good decision is a great decision. A bad decision is a good decision. And the only truly bad or wrong decision is no decision at all. Because when you make no decision, you're letting the world drive you rather than putting yourself in the driver's seat. You go from being active about your life to being passive. Now, I jotted a few notes to make sure I put a few things down. So, another piece that we want to do, be fearless about your decisions. Really step forward into them. Try things out. Realize in the greater scheme of things, even the decisions that you make that seem wrong today, over the long run may be perfect for your path because you learn from them. We talked about in previous Ask Michael Anythings, talked about muscle testing. I recommend learning muscle testing or how to hear from your inside. Ask yourself when you go to make a decision, how does this make me feel? Does it make me feel good? Does it make me feel bad? Is it make me feel light? Does it make me feel heavy? The more you can feel into decisions, the better you will do at this. It's why I teach automatic writing, and I'm happy to announce, and we'll talk about it at the end, our automatic writing program comes out on Friday. Woohoo! So we have a whole program online to teach you how to drop into your intuition, how to drop into your inner wisdom. If you practice automatic writing, if you practice journaling, if you practice on a daily basis, a process of inquiry, of learning from yourself and about yourself, you will start to trust yourself more and more. The great thing about decision making is it's truly a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And it doesn't matter whether you make a right or wrong decision. It matters that you use the muscle. So for instance, a lot of people say, I'm not good at meditating, Michael. Well, why do you say that? Well, because I'm always seeing myself thinking about something else. I say, that's perfect. What do you mean that's perfect? Every time that you caught yourself thinking, that was growing in awareness. And each time you grow in awareness, you're strengthening that muscle of awareness. So a meditation where you constantly catch yourself thinking about something else means you're constantly strengthening the muscle. The same goes for decision making. The process, not the outcome, is what's important. Just like the process in meditating is more important than the outcome. Where do you get in meditating? You can't say, well, you could, most people won't. I went to the Himalayas and back. I had a great meditation. No, I sat, I bead, I was present, and then I was done. The same can be said for decision making. Flexing that muscle, no matter the outcome, builds a stronger muscle. You will make better decisions over time. On top of that, your confidence grows, and that's maybe what's most important. You learn to trust yourself more. We were taught since we were kids to trust anybody else but ourselves. Trust our parents, trust the teachers, trust the experts, trust the doctors, trust the pharmacists, but not to trust ourselves. And it's left us powerless. By flexing your decision-making muscles and making more decisions each and every day, making decisions fairly quickly, listening to that gut instinct, you grow stronger and stronger, more confident, more trusting in yourself, and you start to leave the fear and anxiety behind of, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to answer this question, and so I'm frozen. I'm unable to move forward into myself because I can't make a decision. As you start to get better at decision making, you start to trust yourself more. You go stronger on your own 2 feet or in your own 2 shoes. Everything begins to shift. People around you see you differently. They see you more powerful. Why are you more powerful? Just because you can make decisions better. Well, because when you're making decisions, again, you are in the driver's seat, or I like to say co-creation with the universe, rather than taking a passive role. People love to see people who are confident, not cocky, but confident and self-assured. The more you practice flexing those skills, the more self-assured you'll become. So that's it on decision making. We'll talk about it more, I'm sure, through the Ask Michael Anything session. Want to open it up for some questions here. I haven't said hi to anybody yet because the way the screen setup is, I'm not actually seeing the pop-ups. Jessica is going to guide us through this. We're working on a new mic setup, so I will try to repeat the questions as best as I can, and we're going to try over the next week or two, we're going to get over the next week or two a lavalier mic setup with some sort of special Y microphone setup so that we get that going as well, and we're going to do some test calls on this too. So go ahead, Jessica, and thank you, Jessica, for guiding us here today.
Mark watching on YouTube asks, How do we strengthen our will, and how do we resist temptations?
Hi, Mark on YouTube. How do we strengthen our will, and how do we resist temptations? The same way the joke goes that you eat an elephant. Bite by bite. Making to strengthen your will means to trust yourself more, means to practice. In this case, not practice decisions, but practice sticking with something. The more that you stick with something, the more that you keep a promise to yourself, the easier it becomes to keep promises to yourself. So make it a game. Get a calendar, put it up on the fridge, and say each day for the next month, I'm going to do something simple. I'm going to each morning do 10 woohoos. Or each morning, I'm going to look for 5 things to be grateful for. And then every morning that you do that and you come up with 5 things, and I recommend 5 new things a day, it gets the brain looking for things to be grateful for, put an X on that calendar. And then the next day, another X, and then another X. And don't break the chain. Now, I'm not a strong believer in willpower per se. I look at how we can make things as easy as possible so that we trip over success. But I am a strong believer in routines and micro habits, in linking things together, and in not breaking the chain. We just passed with our patron page, our Backstage Pass members. We just passed the 61-day mark for my vlog. I have a daily 3 to 5 minutes daily words of wisdom on our patron page. It's it's patreon.com/InspireNation. And when I started the patron page in the Backstage Pass, I said, can I really keep this up? I haven't been able to succeed at a blog. I haven't had in the past, I'm doing much better luck with newsletter. What leads me to believe I can do a video blog day after day after day? So I made it a challenge myself not to break the chain. And we're 61 days in. And what happens is, the more that you do this, the stronger you get, the more confident you get, the more you're able to rely on yourself. So I'd start practicing with little pieces. What was the second part of the question here?
And how do we resist temptations?
Resisting temptation. Best thing that you can do, get the temptation away from you. So if it's a food temptation, get it out of the house. If it's a smoking temptation, get that out of the house. If it's something like an internet temptation, there it's a little bit more challenging. Try to make it more difficult for yourself. Try to make it that you have to go through more hoops. And then I recommend, highly, highly, highly recommend prayer. Recommend going to something greater to you than yourself. When it comes to addiction, I always recommend, just as a 12-step program would, giving it up to a higher power. Nothing could be more positive. And then, if you do slip up and temptation strikes and you go down that road, love yourself anyway. The more that you fill yourself with self-love, the more that you trust yourself, the more that you will be able to cut things off at the pass. That's the last point. When addiction is right around the cusp, throw a monkey in the wrench, throw a monkey in the wheel, throw a wrench in the wheel. Get yourself outside. Get yourself away from the opportunity. Get yourself moving and moving fast. Oftentimes, if not always, addiction is misplaced energy. It's nervous energy. It's excitement. It's you wanting to move forward and take action. And because you don't know what to do, you go to the old standby, to the old reliable, to that temptation. If you instead step forward, change your path, do something else, put yourself around somebody. Always go to a buddy if you can. They help tremendously. But if you can take that energy and notice, hey, wait, I don't really want to do X, Y, or Z. That's misplaced energy. Instead, let me put it over here. Then you're golden. Awareness is over 50% of the battle. When you catch it with awareness that this is misplaced energy, you can shift that energy into a more positive direction. Great questions. Thanks so much.
Pierre, watching on Facebook,
Yep.
says, I'm struggling with automatic writing. I will most certainly buy your book. but can you offer some tips to get into the flow?
So, Pierre, automatic
Piera.
writing. Piera. Hi, Piera. Tips for getting into automatic writing. Get some theta music going. Get it going on YouTube. We have it with our program, which will be out on Friday as well. So get some music going, some brain entrainment, theta wave music, so that we can get you out of your thinking mind. Try it earlier in the day so that we can get you out of your thinking mind. Have the lights down dim so that we can get you out of your thinking mind. Try a different pen. Try a different journal. Try typing if you haven't done that. Do it in a quiet environment. The less noise and movement there is around you, the easier it is to dive deep. The quieter in the day it is, the easier. The less stimulus that you've had beforehand, the easier. So for instance, I recommend you get out of bed. You go take care of what you need to in the bathroom. You then go crawl over to a cushion, to a chair, to wherever you're going to meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. You go absolutely still, focus on the breath. There are a bunch of different meditations, and in the program we give you a couple real simple ones so that we can just quiet the mind for 5 to 10 minutes and then dive in. Go through the steps, dive into your automatic writing, put the music on, listen to it, let the pen flow. Go to prayer as well. If the thinking mind is taking over, then write out a prayer. Write out St. Francis's prayer. Write out any prayer that's your favorite and write it over and over to let the words flow. Automatic writing is really about getting you out of your thinking mind and plugging into something else. If you're still struggling with it, pause for a few minutes. And then just start writing to yourself. And ask self, what do I need to know? Self, is there anything that I have to take care of today? Self, what can you tell me about me? And kind of take a back door in by writing to yourself and from yourself. Brilliant question. Hope this helps. And it's not our book coming out on Friday, it's our program. We've got 30 step-by-step videos, everything to get you through this process and to answer these questions and more. Everybody can do automatic writing. That's the great thing. It is a practice, which means like meditation, like decision-making ability, in the beginning all you're doing is making a handshake. You're making that initial connection, and then you grow it stronger and stronger over time. So the last thoughts that I have on this, Piera, is whatever you write down, make sure you read it back to yourself later in the day. You may well surprise yourself, because when you're in the automatic writing experience, again, we're getting you out of your thinking mind, so you may not realize how much you're actually getting. Jessica and I are both startled when we go back and read our automatic writing and go, I didn't know I wrote that. I had no idea I wrote that. And I'm so glad that I just read this back to myself, because I need to take care of that and I had no idea. It's a great question, Piera. Keep up the good work. Baby step your way into it.
Okay. Our next question is from sorry?
Next question
It
coming.
disappeared. Can you see it on your screen?
How is automatic writing different than morning pages? We love morning pages. Love, love, love morning pages. This is, in a sense, more of a process of a deep learning about yourself, of self-inquiry from your deepest intuition or wisdom. In many ways, it's similar to morning pages. This is almost more like, instead of calling it morning pages, I would consider it more like Neale Donald Walsh's Conversations with God. It is getting in touch with that deepest wisdom or guidance from within. You can call it your inner wisdom, you can call it intuition, you can call it your angels, you can call it your guides, but it is at such a deep, that was a kitty tail, source level. and you get in these beautiful flowing communications and discussions with your higher self on anything and everything to guide you through your day, to help you to heal and heal on a deep soul level and give you guidance on anything and everything in your life.
Okay, next question is from Dry Dessert watching on YouTube, who says, for several years I've been pursuing things that I still think are the right direction for my life. But I very often get discouraged with the work involved, give up, lose time, have to start over. Any thoughts?
Is the question then, do I give up, do I lose time, or do I start over? Or what is the specific question? I have been pursuing things that I still think are the right decision, but I often get very discouraged with the work involved. So Dry Dessert, a couple questions come to mind. The first question is, you think it's the right direction. How do you feel? Does it feel like the right direction? Now, I'm not talking about the busy work, because there's busy work in what we do that neither Jessica or I like, and as we get more staff on board, we're going to be able to do less, or have to do less and less of that busy work ourselves. We don't enjoy all of that busy work, we admit it. But it allows us to do the things that help us to shine. So they're investors in our future. That busy work is an investor in our future. And so yes, that feels uncomfortable, but we're able to continue. But the big picture, how we feel, is on track and on purpose. And for myself, I feel on fire with this work. So the question is, how does it make you feel if you get out of your thinking mind? That's actually the number one thing that you get to understand right now, is where do you stand on this? So I would recommend, write each morning, ask yourself questions. I'm going to give you a homework assignment here, Dry Dessert, is to write a letter to yourself saying, self, why do I want to do this? And see what yourself has to say. You get a lot of clarity by writing to yourself and stepping back and starting to get an idea of a big picture understanding of things. I must say, as a mild distraction, I have the love bug, who is 2 inches from knocking over the whole setup here. And it's quite intriguing at the moment. And we're watching her go back and forth. So Dry Dessert, last thoughts is, if you knew you couldn't fail, is this what you would want to do? And I'm actually going to add an addendum to it. Forgive me. And why? If you know your why, if you know why you're doing it, if you know why you're putting in the hours, if you know why you're doing the drudgery, the busy work, the work that you don't like to do, everything becomes clearer to you. So write and ask, what is my why? Next question is...
Okay, next question is from Adam Chamberlain, watching on Facebook.
Woohoo! Hi Adam, we send all our love.
He writes, your show is filled with so many new things to try. How do you decide what to bring into your routine? Also, is the modality important, or is it the intention and the energy we bring to the practice that makes it effective?
Great questions, Adam. Let's see, I'll take one at a time. First off, how do we decide what to bring in? It's on top of things like automatic writing, which is really the staple for everything. Learning about your intuition, being able to get words of wisdom from the inside. That's like everything. On top of that, it's not so much important which you do, rather than that you do it. So I wouldn't do 20 different things. I would pick a few of them and stick with it and introduce maybe one new thing at a time and try it for 30 days and see what you think about it, or more importantly, what you feel about it, and then decide, hey, this is working for me, hey, this isn't, and then try another one. It's all about creating habits, which is why I say give it at least 30 days so that you can create a habit and then see if you enjoy it or not. Because everything, and this at least speaking for myself, everything in the beginning change is uncomfortable. Some's really fun, some isn't. For instance, I just started into a standing desk so that I don't have a sore back and neck anymore. And guess what? That actually gave me a little bit of a sore back and neck. Now I can go, it's not working, and just throw out that modality and go to the next one. Or I can say, I'm going to give this a try for 30 days. I'm going to develop that habit and then see how I'm going to feel. That's what I'll do. Choose one modality, any one modality, and carry it out for 30 days and see how it feels and what it's doing for you. Jessica recently saw a Chinese medicine doctor, and she's going, I'm not sure if this acupuncture is doing anything. I'm not sure if these herbal foot soaks are doing anything. And the recommendation was the same. Carry it out for 30 days, see how it makes you feel, and then decide. And dive in at that point. Give it your full attention. Go after it 100% and give it a fair shake. As far as intention versus doing it, the modality, or doing it perfectly, I do think everything, it's all about intention. At the end of the day, it's all just energy. The more energy that you bring to something, the better. So if somebody tells me, well, I'm told that I need to give thanks for something before it will come about, or I need to say it a certain way, or there's going to be a sense of lack, or I have to form it as a question as if it's already taken place, our brain can get scrambled with all these different messages on how we manifest in law of attraction, for instance. And frankly, I think none of it matters. The most important thing is the energy and the emotion that you bring to it. If you feel it with emotion, with heart, with sensation, with visualization, if you take all of your 5 or 6 or 10 senses, however many senses we really have, actually it's probably an infinite number, and we bring that with heart and emotion to whatever we want, we bring it about. Not because we said it in a certain way, not because we did it in a certain way, not because you listened to Michael and you did your Woohoo 8 daily or Napoleon Hill and you wrote it out in the morning, or you put it on a card and you read it to yourself in the morning and you read it yourself midday and you read it yourself. None of that matters. It matters the intention and the energy behind it. Great question, Adam, and love, love, love your manifestation skills. Woohoo!
Adam did have a follow-up question to that.
All right.
Which was about mixing modalities like pot and pocking from...
Dane here, and yeah.
And while releasing trapped emotions, or tapping while saying Paul Selig's atonement statements.
I love it. Mix and match at will. It's all energy. It's all spirit. So whether you're using access consciousness tools, or mixing it with Paul Selig's guides, or mixing it with Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, or EFT work by Dawson Church, and by more recently who we had on for EFT Chat, by Nick Ortner. All of these modalities, at the end of the day, they're energy. They're all prayer. They're all movement of energy in the ethers, as above, so below. Mix it up, in my opinion, as much as you want. You're asking for help and guidance. You're taking steps forward, and you are provided for. You are supported in clearing emotions and rewiring in healing. I believe they all work together. And on top of that, truth be told, you can create your own. That's the coolest thing. Now, I like going to tried and true modalities, just like I like going to mantras, because there's a highway that's been built. Access consciousness, people have been doing this. Thousands and thousands of practitioners have been doing it for several decades. You go to Dr. Bradley Nelson's work, thousands of practitioners around the world, also for probably several decades. You go to various mantras that have been said maybe in Buddhist countries for 2,000 years or more. So there's something to having that track record, to having that highway, to having that groove in the record. But if you're excited about something, if you feel called, if you want to build it, heck, Dr. Bradley Nelson, one day that he started with Emotion Code, there was nothing. He was a pioneer. I'm sure part of it was channeled. I'm sure part of it was worked out. But you can do the same thing too, Adam. You can channel, or you can pioneer. And I know that you are a tinkerer and an analytic tinkerer. And so play with it. You've got the gifts to create something new if you want, to make an amalgam of the different ones and find what works for you. So I want to encourage you, and then I want you to share it with the rest of us.
Next question is from Penny watching on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
How is automatic writing different from morning pages? I heard that interview and have been...
We just answered that question.
We did?
Yes.
Oh.
Really, I did.
You answered Adam's question.
No, before Adam.
Oh, okay. Okay, Lavi watching on YouTube asks, "Hi Michael, I would like to ask you how to overcome major money blocks and where do they come from? Thank you very much."
Lavi, brilliant question. Major money blocks, how to overcome them, where do they come from? Number one, Lavi, write a letter to money. Make money your dear friend. Actually, it's your dear friend who you kicked out of the car, kicked out of the house, and misused and abused. I'm speaking from personal experience here. Write a letter to money. Talk to her. Apologize to her. Ask her what's going on. Ask her how you can heal the relationship. Ask where this started. Ask what your earliest experiences were with money and what they taught you and what you learned from this experience, and start to rebuild this relationship. That's the first thing that you can do. Go back, lean into money. Go back to your earliest experiences with money. Were they positive? Were they negative? Did your parents struggle with money? Did others that you saw have money? Did they not have money? How did it make you feel? And write all of this out. You'll notice there's a theme here tonight of inquiry, of writing things out and learning about yourself. Then you can do things like emotion code work, and we have a show online and on YouTube on emotion code and helping to heal your money block. So you can go into emotion code, you can go into EFT tapping. You can start by getting a 10% account, or even a 1% account if you had to, and start putting that 10% of your income, even if you're making very little. And I recommend listening to the show we did with Dr. DeMartini, who talks about how he put 10% into a savings account even when we didn't have that money to do so. And the universe provided him with more and provided with more, and he put more in and put more in and put more in. And now he's living on a billionaire's yacht, traveling around the world, living a billionaire's lifestyle with quite a bit of money, which he started by healing that relationship by putting 10% aside and saying no matter what, that 10% doesn't get touched. Our mentor, Jack Burden, who was our best man at the wedding, or my best man at the wedding, he gave us a book, gifted us a book many years ago, The Last Man in Babylon. The last man, poorest man, richest man, there we go. The richest man in Babylon. Can't recommend it enough about starting a 10% account. And then treat money like your best friend. When you go to give it away, it's an exchange. Tell your money how much you love it. Ask it to take care of those that it's going to help and serve. Realize it's a gift that you're giving somebody else, and they're giving you a gift in exchange. Give thanks when you run your card at the credit card, or on the credit card machine, at the gas station pump. Make each experience with money a sacred ritual. Love money, love money, love money. But not in the way you think. So yes, the expression goes, money is the root of all evil. Well, it's not money is the root of all evil. The full expression is the love of money. And that means the love of money for money's sake. But if you treasure money as an energy, as a lever to help you move the world and move through the world, and you view it as a gift you can give away to help other people, a gift you can give to feed other people, a gift that flows, that circulates and comes back to you, which means you can't hold on to it too tight or it has no ability to flow. If you hear of people who keep money in the bank but rack up credit card debt after credit card debt because they're afraid to use their money, they're cutting off the flow. You have to be brave and you have to allow it to circulate. So great question. Lots of homework I'm giving you on money. Start by diving deep, asking the questions on money. You can even kick back on your bed at night, close your eyes, Get ready to go to sleep and say, money, where did my challenges with you start? And how do we begin to heal these challenges? You can turn it absolutely on its head. Make money your best friend. And it is, do not be afraid of money. Do not be ashamed of money. Do not think I can't be spiritual and have money. Money is a tool to help you navigate this world and help you to help others. I love talking about Archimedes, who said, give me a large enough lever and I will move the world. Money is a tool. It is one of many levers to help you move the world, move your life, and move others for your highest good and for the highest good of all.
Okay, our next question is from Karina watching on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Karina.
She asks, she tries to meditate and she's tried everything, but nothing seems to work.
Mm-hmm. So, Karina, if you've tried everything for meditation, first off, what does not work mean? So, for instance, Karina, like I was saying earlier, if you try to meditate and you go, breathe in, breathe out. Oh my gosh, I forgot to take out the laundry. Breathe in, breathe out. Oh, look, kitty cat. Each time you catch yourself with the mind wandering and bring it back, you're starting to strengthen the muscle. Now you can start with 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be I have to sit for 10 minutes, I have to sit for 30 minutes. If you can focus on the breath for 1 inhalation and 1 exhalation, then meditation, that is a meditation. That's a 1 breath meditation, and it's working. It's helping to get you more focused. It's helping calm and quiet the mind. A simple one that I love to come back to is what I call the 10 count. And the 10 count works like this. The goal of the 10 count, in a sense, is to count 10 breaths. But nobody ever gets to 10. Because what you do is, here, we'll do a quick demonstration. So you sit up good and tall, and this straw chair is driving me a little bit bananas here tonight. We'll figure that out. So you breathe in through the nose. I always go in and out through the nose. It calms the mind. In through the nose, down to the belly, up and out through the nose. In and out. So as a 10 count, we're now going to breathe in and out. That's 1. In and out. That's 2. In. Is he just going to keep counting till 10? Oh, wait, I was thinking. And out. That's 1. In. I wonder if he's just going to keep talking about the count now. And out. That's 1 again. Every time that you catch that your mind is wandering, go back to 1. Your whole goal here, while in theory it's to get to 10, is just to stay focused on the breath, and every time the mind wanders, to bring it back to the breath. Now in the beginning you can set a timer so that you don't have to worry about it, and the timer can be for as little as a minute, or make it 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Set the timer and then don't worry about it, just focus on the breath. That way you're not going, am I done yet? Instead you're focused firmly on the breath. You do that for 30 days. You just focus on in and out. You'll see significant changes in your ability to meditate. If you wanted one last tool, I would say focus on a body sensation when you breathe in and out. It can be the tickle on the end of the nose as the air is going in and out. It can be putting your hand on the belly and feeling your belly rise and fall. It can be an imaginary sensation. This is heart math. This is heart resonance, of picturing the breath coming into your heart. So picture the feeling of the breath coming into your heart and going back out from the heart. But if you pick one place and focus on it, it makes it much easier. Brilliant question. Hope this helps.
Okay, our next question is from Whitney. Whitney Greer, watching on Facebook.
Hi, Whitney.
She asks, do you have any tips or suggestions for when you are arguing with your significant other and want to try practicing your patience but have difficulty focusing on it?
Brilliant question, Whitney. What do we do when we're fighting with our spouse or partner, but we have difficulty? How do we put this?
Practicing patience.
Difficulty practicing patience. The first thing that you can do, Whitney, is catch that. So when it's a scientific fact, when we argue with our partner, when we argue with a spouse, we become morons and idiots. They say we lose at least 10 or 20 IQ points. I would argue we drop more like 50. We automatically go into a fight or flight response. And when we get that amygdala-like, lizard-like part of the brain going, we're just not thinking smart, Whitney. When we can realize we're not thinking smart, we can take a pause. That's the best thing that you can do. Grab for one breath. If you can grab for two, even better. If you can grab for 2 breaths and then remember how much you love this person and how important they are for you, even though they're driving you bat crazy in the moment, even better. But find some way. First is awareness. If we can catch the awareness of, wait, I might be going stupid in this argument. I may not be. And I'm not picking on you, Whitney. All of us, every single one of us, Dalai Lama included, if we get the fight or flight response going, we're just not as smart as we were a minute ago. We may think we're saying the right thing. We may think we need to be right. And later on we're going, what in the world was I thinking? Why did I say that? Why did I push him or her that way? Why did I? It's because we weren't able to step back. And so when that happens, your whole goal gets to be to step back. If you can take a step further than that, it's to try to flip a circuit breaker. And so with Jessica, I'll throw a curveball in there. I'll try to switch gears, derail us, take us out of the argument even for just a moment so that I can put a breath or a pause into there. If not, I may actually kick myself out of the room or out of the house to take a pause rather than say something that I'll regret later on. So work on slowing yourself down on the moment, catching things, remembering how much you love the other person, and remember how much what you say may be not exactly what you want to say. So bring a pause to the moment can be huge. Brilliant question. Thank you for asking, Whitney, and keep shining bright.
Okay, our next question is from Inspiration Tuts, watching on YouTube, who writes, how to figure out the right things to do now that his or her future self, like 5 years from now, is going to think, I should have been doing 5 years ago.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect. And this is Inspiration
Tuts.
Inspiration Tuts. I like it. I don't know why that's making me think Egyptian, King Tut or something. Take the pressure off of yourself. You don't have to worry about what your 5 year later self is going to say to yourself. You just have to be in a kind, loving, and gentle place for yourself now and work to listen on the inside. All you can do is the best you can do. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody truly does. Well, if they do, we're going to try to get them on the show. But, barring that, there's too many possibilities of where you could be, where you could go, what's going to take place in the next 5 years. If you bring yourself to center in this present moment, if you bring yourself to center now. So Jessica and I, we had a crash and burn on Maui. And things went terribly awry from how they wanted. Just lost savings, lost health. The list goes on and on. I don't pick on ourselves at all for what we did or didn't do at the time. But we weren't present where we are now. We weren't doing our automatic writing. We weren't stepping back and asking us, Why did this pattern happen? Why does this continue to happen? We weren't in a process of inquiry with our lives. When poop goes down now, we'll write about it, we'll talk about it, we'll go to the beach and walk about it, but we'll be extra present with our lives. And that helps us to make the best decisions. So it's not about being present, or it's not about trying to live with where your future self wants you to be. It's just being extra present with where you're at now. And then the path starts to become clearer to yourself. Now you can write a letter to your future self and say, hey, future self, do you have any thoughts? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any feelings for me of where I should go and what I should do? This is a brilliant practice. This can help really pave a clear road for you. That too, though, is an act of being extra present with yourself now. So the answer for your future self, be as present as you can and be as loving, kind, and gentle to yourself as you can be. And last, let all the answers come from in here. Just as you would never choose a spouse or partner by what's written on a page, instead you would go on how does he or she make me feel. All great life decisions, large and small, get to be made as you cultivate that muscle with how does it make me feel. If you do that, you can certainly not go wrong, as I mentioned and put in quotes in the beginning. And if you go wrong, as I mentioned in the beginning, it too is a learning and will help guide you on your path. Brilliant question. Thank you for asking.
Our next question is from Desiree, watching on Facebook. What happened when you guys took a couple of months when no new shoes were recorded? I was afraid you guys were done. Took a break?
Hi, Desiree. We haven't taken a break. So I'm not sure where the gap was. There was a time period, you're watching on Facebook. I know there was a time period on YouTube, but that was a good year and a half ago when Jessica's health got the smackdown and we had to stop uploading on YouTube for a little while. But on our Inspire Nation show, on iTunes, on iHeartRadio, on everywhere, we've been going strong day after day, 5 days a week. For tomorrow will be unbelievably show number 800. Can you believe that, Jessica? 800 shows.
You've been busy.
We've been busy. We've been very, very busy. So, Desiree, you may have a lot of shows to catch up on. We have them on our website. We are looking for a webmaster guru to help speed up our website. We have them on the podcast link. You can find the latest 300 on iTunes, and you can probably find the latest 500 on Google Play Music, which is an app on your phone as well. A few more questions, and then we'll wrap things up here for the evening.
I think that's it. I think I've asked all the questions.
Fantastic. What I want to do right now is a fun little energy building exercise. It's a Qigong exercise that we learned from a Tai Chi master, Qigong master, and internal Kung Fu master by the name of Shen on Maui. And he looks like, he looks the role. He's got this little goatee going on, and he's a tiny Asian Zen master who could, he's like 100 pounds wet, and he could probably take you with his pinky and flip you upside down and backwards and into a pretzel, even if you're a sumo wrestler. And he's done this from learning how to generate chi, or energy inside of himself. And I was talking with a coaching client about this earlier today, about I had used this exercise quite a bit when I would go to dental offices to calm, to quiet my mind, to kind of distract me. I find it a very powerful tool to help increase my health, to help quiet the mind, and to boost my energy throughout the day. So I call this the accordion. And so what you're going to do for the accordion is you're going to take your two hands together as if you're kind of patting, well, almost like a meatball or some sort of food together, and you're kind of patting it together. So we're going to take and we're patting this ball here. And what we want to do is breathe in and kind of feel yourself expanding your energy. And breathe out and imagine pushing that energy together all into a tight little energy ball. And breathe in, expand the energy out, and breathe in and make a nice compact energy ball. And out. Breathe in, push that energy together. Push, push, push. Feel your fingertips starting to tingle. And out. And in, really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that energy together. Feel it between your hands. And in. And out. Really press, press, press that energy together as you're breathing out. And in. And out. And in. Start to slow and expand that breath. And out. Really feel that energy ball growing strong. And in. And out. And in. Get real expansive. And out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all that energy together. You're going to feel a lot of resistance in there. Almost feels like this springy, rubbery ball. And in. And out. We'll do this just a couple more times. My hands are getting really tingly. Really squish that ball together. And in. And out. Press. Feel that energy. Feel it all the way out there. Feel it in your hands. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. And in. On the next one, we're going to bring the hands together and bring the energy into our hearts. And out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all that energy. And now take that energy, scoop it up, bring it into your heart. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in all that energy into your heart one more time. In and out. I want to thank you so much for joining us here this evening. A couple quick notes. Well, I had my notes here, but they're under a kitty cat. So first off, if you love the show, if you love these Ask Michael Anythings, these weekly lives, please come support us, become a member of the Inspire Nation family. Come on over to patreon.com at patreon.com/Inspire Nation. Become a Backstage Pass member. You get daily words of wisdom from me. It's my daily vlog. Lots of great information, behind the scenes fun stuff, what our up and comings are, what our doings are. You'll get occasional shows with Jessica and I. You'll get more meditations, bonus videos there. You'll also get at least once a month, if not twice a month, raffles, books, other prizes for you as well. And you're going to have great access to us too. So come become a part of the Inspire Nation family and visit us on our Patreon page. Become a Backstage Pass member. And then this Friday, woohoo! Our automatic writing program is going live. We are so excited about this. Over 30 videos, step by step, to guide you through the process. Guided meditations, music, binaural beat music, music to help you sleep, music to help you focus and concentrate, music to help you with your automatic writing as well. Lots of guidance step by step through the program. Plus, we're going to have some live trainings for you if you sign up with our automatic writing program, so that we're going to take your questions live one-on-one and be able to, well, one-on-one is part of a large group, be able to answer your questions and fine-tune your automatic writing experience. We are so excited to offer this. It's truly like teaching you how to be your own Neil Donald Walsh, to be your own Paul Selig. So that's all I've got. I'm going to check in with Jessica, who's behind the scenes running the show here. Jessica, is there anything else I get to mention or anything of the sort?
If they're watching on YouTube,
yes,
and they've subscribed, make sure you click on the yellow bell symbol. No, it's not yellow. Click on the little bell symbol, and then you'll get notified every time we go live again.
So if you didn't hear that, if you're on YouTube, click on the, if you subscribed, click on the bell symbol, and then you get notifications each time a show comes out. And I do ask, if you're on Facebook, please share. If you're on YouTube, please share. It helps get the message out to more people. It helps other people to get the same benefits that you are getting here this evening. So for me, well, I guess, should we do a cameo? Is there a way to do a cameo? Let's see if we can. Woo! This is the Love Bug, and she is not in a cameo mood. All right, send all our love your way. Thank you so much for being here. Above and beyond all else, know that you are love. You come from love. You couldn't be anything other than pure love, even if you tried. You have greatness inside. Greatness is your birthright. Step forward by diving into your true self. Be yourself, and above and beyond all else, shine bright. Woohoo! Send all my love, all our love, and the kitties too.